Hello, before I start, thank you so much for 35 subscribers, and if you haven't, please go do that down below. But in this video, I'm going to be doing my NFL picks. I am using Playoff Predictor just because I did not have a lot of time to set this up. In a few days, I don't know if it will be tomorrow, but soon I will be doing my 2022 picks, and I'll be doing my 2022 picks for the next year, because I have been getting a lot of comments on my other video that I should do new picks. So I will be doing that in a little while. And thanks to and Chiefs Kingdom actually is giving me the schedule. Thank you, Chiefs Kingdom, for doing that. But let's start off with the playoffs here. Ravens at Titans in the first game. The Titans really upset Baltimore. Baltimore went 14-2 last year. The Titans upset the Patriots in the first round and then came to Baltimore and upset them. I just don't see how. But the Ravens have been playing really nice football. They haven't lost since. Well, they were playing good because they were at this time right here, and then they went on a sort of losing streak, but won 3. But then they came out and won their last 5 games. Now they have Tennessee. I just don't think the Titans can match them up nicely. I don't think that the Titans can match them up. I'm just take this off for a second here. I don't think the Titans can match them up nicely. The Titans lost to the Browns, to the Packers, to the Steelers, to the Colts, and to the Bengals. And besides the Bengals, they've lost to only good teams. They barely beat Houston, and if not, they would be right now in a different position in the 7 seed playing the Bills. But that's not the case. Actually, I don't know if they'd be in the 7 seed, but that's not the case. I am going Baltimore here just because I feel like they are a better team. In our next game, we have the Browns at the Steelers. I was planning originally on going for the Browns in this game. But when you look at the game last week, and this is a matchup of last week just in Pittsburgh this time, the Browns won at home, but now you're playing in Pittsburgh, which the Browns' record on the road is 5-3. And you could argue that's good. I think it's okay to have that sort of record on the road, but Pittsburgh at home this year has been 7-1. Pittsburgh lost their last game to the Browns, Pittsburgh lost their last game to the Browns. But they lost by 2 points. Ben Roethlisberger was not the starting quarterback, and I believe that this is a Steelers win. Because based off what I saw last week, I don't know if the Browns can match it. They have a lot of players on their COVID list. I don't even know if this game will happen on Sunday night. But I am going to go with Pittsburgh because of the COVID cases on the Browns, because of how the Browns played last week. I'm going Pittsburgh in this game. Next game, we have Colts at Bills, and the Colts... Man, the Bills absolutely killed Miami by 30 points, 56-26. The Colts won their last game to the Jaguars. But let's look at the Colts lost to the Browns, the Ravens, the Steelers, and the Titans. Again, it's not a lot of teams. I missed a few. They lost to the Jaguars in the first game, and then the Jaguars didn't win another game. Then they lost to the Colts, the Browns, the Ravens, the Titans, and the Steelers. Besides the Jaguars, those are all really good teams that they lost to. Buffalo has beaten some good teams. They've beaten Pittsburgh. They beat the Dolphins. They lost the Chiefs. They lost to the Cardinals. I believe they should have beaten the Cardinals, and I believe they should have a 14-2 record if they never lost to the Cardinals. And I think the obvious pick for this game is the Bills, just because I believe that they are a better team than Indianapolis. So those are my picks for the AFC, let's move to the NFC. Buccaneers, that football team, I think that's a pretty obvious pick for me. Buccaneers, really, I just think the Buccaneers are a better team than the football team. The Buccaneers lost to the Saints, the Bears, the Saints, the Rams. They haven't lost to any horrible teams. The football team, I'm not even going to name all their losses because they are to good teams and bad teams. And I think the Buccaneers should absolutely kill them. The Buccaneers are 7-9. I mean, the football team 7-9. Buccaneers 11-5, I think, are the favorites to win this game. Rams at Seahawks in our next game. And I think it's an interesting game. But will Jared Goff start? I just think that the Seahawks are a better team put together. The Rams 10-6. Their losses, they lost the Jets, which is going to make this big for me. They lost to the Seahawks in Week 16. Even though they beat the Seahawks, they also lost to the Dolphins, the 49ers. Those are pretty bad teams that they've lost to. The Seahawks have only lost the Giants, which I guess I shouldn't say only, but the Bills, the Rams, and the Cardinals. Those are all pretty good teams. Cardinals almost made the playoffs. The Giants almost made the playoffs, but I think the Seahawks are a better team. Bears at Saints in our next one. The Saints at home are 6-2. The Bears away are 5-3. The Bears play better away than they do at home. The Saints play the same away and at home. But a team that's 8-8, I don't think, even though Drew Brees isn't playing like himself, I don't think a team that's 8-8 is going to win over the Saints. So in both of these picks, I have the 5 seed beating the 4 seed, then the 3 seed beating the 6 seed, and the 2 seed beating the 7 seed. That is just a coincidence. So let's go into our divisional round now. Steelers at Bills. A rematch of last year's divisional round. A rematch of the game earlier where the Bills upset Pittsburgh in that game. And I guess it wasn't an upset that it happened. Because the Steelers were coming off a loss to the Washington football team. The Bills won 26-15. They won by a good amount against Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh in the playoffs choked to Jacksonville. They missed the playoffs a few years ago. Last year, 2018. I just don't see how this goes the right direction for Pittsburgh. And the Bills have been playing better. The Bills are at home in this game, where they are. Let me just take this game away. They're 7-1 at home. They've lost one game at home. And that only game was to Tennessee, which they should have. They should have beaten Tennessee, but they lost to Tennessee. The Steelers away are 5-3. They are not as good away. Only 625% of their games they won away. The Bills, just home-wise, were 8-7-5. I just don't see how the Bills win this game. Ravens at Chiefs. It's a matchup from earlier on in the season. The Chiefs are 14-2. 6-2 at home. Now, they lost the Chargers. I would have given them a win against the Chargers. But no, we're not. That didn't happen. So, we're not going to do that. And my bad, I accidentally just reset all my picks. We're just going to put them back in, though. All right, now I changed Kansas City. I would have given them a win over the Chargers. Mahomes is starting. Mahomes has had now 3 weeks of rest when we will get to this point in time. They lost to the Raiders, but not by a lot. They got killed by the Chargers. But they lost 40-32. Not a lot, but they gave up a lot of points. And then they lost the Chargers because Mahomes wasn't starting. At home, they're 750. Away, the Ravens are 6-2, 750 also. But you're not going to tell me that Mahomes, coming off 3 weeks of rest, is going to lose to the Ravens. So I have the Bills and the Chiefs. Seahawks and Saints in the next game. The Saints playing at home, where they are 6-2. The Seahawks, though, are playing on the road, where they're 5-3. The Seahawks are a good team. The Seahawks could have gotten the first round bye. And if the Packers had only lost their game, they would be in the bye. The Saints would be. The Seahawks beat the Rams, and Seahawks beat the Rams twice in the last few weeks, right? Beat them 2 times, back-to-back games. It's a really tough pick for me to go who I want. And I think you have Taysom Hill on the Saints, which is what is making me lean towards Seattle, because they have those trick plays. Sean Payton will be going back to the NFC Championship. Will he get ripped off again? Buccaneers at Packers. Now, Packers coming off a first-round bye here. They really won their last couple of games. Won their last 6 games, which is pretty impressive. It would have been last 9 games if they had just gotten a field goal against the Colts. The Packers are coming out hot and strong. Tom Brady, but this is the problem. You're facing Tom Brady in the playoffs. And Tom Brady playoff record is unbelievable. He has started in 41 games. And he's made 41 games. He's won 30 of them, which is really impressive. This is a tough pick. The Packers lost to Tampa Bay, though. And I do think the Buccaneers can beat them. But it'll be close. It's Tom Brady's second ever NFL start as a Buccaneer. But the Packers versus Buccaneers. The final in that game was 38-10. The Buccaneers really killed the Packers. I don't think they'll kill them in this game, but I do think they'll win. So let's go to our championship games. Bills, Chiefs, Buccaneers, Saints. Okay, Bills, Chiefs. The Bills on the road, the first road game, are 6-2. At home, the Chiefs are 6-2. The Chiefs, I do believe, are a better team put together than Buffalo, with all your weapons of Mahomes, Hill, Bell, Kelsey, Watkins. You have all of those people, which is why you have Josh Allen on the other side, though, which is the thing. The Chiefs made the playoffs last year. They won the Super Bowl last year. They didn't just make the playoffs. I'm going with the Bills in this game. The Bills made the playoffs. They blew a 16-0 lead to Houston last time. It's going to be a close game. I wouldn't be surprised if it's decided by 3. But it will be a close game in the playoffs. Buccaneers, Saints in our next game. Who will be playing the Bills? Will it be Tom Brady playing his former team? And let me just say, if the Buccaneers win that game, I'm taking the Buccaneers in the Super Bowl. Because I'm not taking Tom Brady behind Josh Allen. Now that may be you may not agree with that, but Tom Brady swept the Bills almost every year in the NFL. He was for the Patriots. But you got the Saints that you're playing. You got killed 38-3 in your last matchup. I believe that was the score. It is difficult to do and to give this game to the Buccaneers, and I don't know if I will. And just so you know, I'm making all these picks right now as I'm talking. But the Buccaneers and the Saints here. The Saints at home, 6-2. Buccaneers away, 6-2. Both teams 6-2. So can the Buccaneers upset this game? And I do think it'd be an upset. I think it'll be a close game. It will not be how the Saints won the last game, but I do believe that the Saints would win over the Buccaneers. Tom Brady 0-3 against the Saints in his Buccaneer career. We'll see if he comes back next year, but I do think he will get a few wins in next year. Super Bowl matchup time here now. It's the Bills and the Saints. And the Bills and the Saints. Bills versus Saints record. The two teams have seen each other 11 times. The Saints have won 7. The Saints are 7-4 against Buffalo. This may be Drew Brees last year. Josh Allen is just beginning. I think Super Bowl wins are to come in the future with Buffalo. I don't know how many more we'll see by New Orleans. It's a really difficult pick that I have and I'm making right now. But I'm going to take veteran over rookie, which may be a little bit odd, but this is my bracket. I think it is a reasonable bracket, and I'll compare it. I'll see how well I did at the end, because I don't think it will be too right, but it could be. So in a few days, I don't quite know when I'll be coming out with my 2022 NFL predictions. So as I said, thanks for 35 subscribers. If you haven't, please do down below. And so thanks for watching this video.